Assalamu alaikum guys. So in this video I wanted to share my framework for executing ideas and making them a reality, which I think is relatable to Islam because if our Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam would just worship Allah and pray, Islam would never spread, but he actually did both. So he had good intentions, he taught people the correct Aqidah, the correct way to worship their creator, but also he established Islam in reality by building masjids, by all the other stuff. So just wanted to share with you how I think about it when it comes to different projects. For example, building a house, which is one of the things I'm doing, or creating new business ideas, which is a huge thing as well, or just opening up a masjid. All these things people think are super difficult to execute. So most people have some idea to do something, like it could be, I want to be, I don't know, a painter, I want to open up a business, I want to, I don't know, study something, right? So they have the idea, they get excited, but then that's about it. Most people are super lazy, they don't do anything about it, and they just keep living in this dream forever, and they wonder like why it never happened. So that's just the first step. So you have the idea, but you have to go to the next step. And the next step is planning phase. And this is the most crucial phase of this. That's the second step. You have the idea, you're excited, you're motivated, but how do you take this complex idea, because any idea to transition in reality will be complex. So you have to break it up into different chunks and then create a plan how to fulfill the goals in that project. This is basic project planning, this is basic business. And that's why business really taught me all this, because without it I would just be kind of lost, to be honest. This takes the most amount of time because you don't see any results, you haven't achieved anything, and you're still kind of living in that idea phase. And you're planning, and maybe people are saying, what you're doing there? And I've been in this phase for a while, for many times. And lately, I've basically completely revamped my business again. I spent about a month on learning a new thing and coming up with a new offer for my business. It took about a month, 3-4 hours a day. I would say 2-3 hours a day of research and planning and really thinking through. And so it's a nasty phase because you don't see the results and you're just planning. Some people get stuck here forever, so they just overplan and they never deliver. So you have to find a balance. Don't plan forever, but create a solid plan. When it comes to building a house, for example, without riba, right? So you create a plan. How much money do you need per month? So for example, the house will cost you 100K. Well, how do I get to 100K? You can either make 100K once, which is unlikely, or you can make 10 times 10K, which is more likely, but still quite difficult, or you can save 2K per month in, I don't know how many years, 5 years, and then you'll get there. So you need to create that plan and then stick to that plan and execute on it. That's the next step, execution. You have the plan, now it's time to execute. That means taking that first step. What is that? So, for example, sending an email, going to speak to somebody, telling people, hey, we opened up a masjid, paying the rent for the masjid and making it reality. So making it actual thing now, not just in my head, not just planned, but actual like, hey, we're doing this thing. This is the hardest thing because people have this fear of it not working out, which is so stupid. But this is what prevents people from achieving their dreams, really. But it's like that, like you just have to go and do it. When I did my conference business, organizing events, you have to like go and tell people I'm organizing the event and just say it, make it a reality, and people start buying tickets. And well, if you do a good job in selling and marketing, but people will then go for it. So you rent a room, for example, that will be like a reality step. So you will be like, oh, now I'm committed. So that makes you committed. So now you have the idea, you've researched it, you came across many problems, you solved it, you did the first step. What's next? Now it's the time of pushing and shoving, which means selling, which means saving money, which means telling people about the masjid. We have a masjid, come pray. Nobody wants to pray. We have a business, come work with us. Nobody wants to work with me. we have, I want to build a house, but I need so much money, it's impossible. That phase. That can take years or it can take a few months, but it's either way, it's gonna be very difficult. And this is what's gonna separate the people who stick with it or not. So this is just kind of sticking with the plan that you created and executing on it, adjusting it, changing it, going again, and executing, adjusting, changing, going again, and just always measuring how are you doing. And then finally, last step, fifth step, not last, but I would say last step is reality. So the thing you had like an idea became a reality. The event I just had in my mind, I actually am there and I'm organizing it and I'm speaking in front of people. The masjid, it was just an idea and now we are praying and I'm just doing a Jummah. The business that I had, again, my idea, now the client signed up today for it. Or like the house, that was just an idea for a few years, now it became a reality and we pay down the deposit and we're starting to build it and it's in reality gonna happen, inshallah. So now you're seeing it and you're like, subhanallah, even though Allah is creating all these actions, you're pushing and shoving to make it a reality. That's the last step, and this is the best, because you start seeing the fruits of your labor, and people start asking you like, how you did that? That's crazy, that's amazing. And you're like, well, everybody's lazy. This is the reality. Everybody is lazy and nobody knows how to manage time. So it's all about time management. You gotta put a few hours a day into this thing and it will, over time, be done. But people don't know how to manage time, people don't know how to prioritize, people don't have no idea of time management, so then they get nothing done. And then waste years and they are like, why am I still here? Like, you're not improving, man. You wanna learn the Quran, you wanna improve your whatever, it's all about studying and improving and honing on that skill. I'm not there, I haven't made the intention to do that. Inshallah, I'm trying to learn Arabic now, but still, it's not my full priority. It will be, inshallah. But I'm just saying, even in the context of deen, you have to follow these steps. You have the intention. Then you realize, I want to learn Arabic, it's amazing. Then you realize, oh, that's very difficult. Then there's research. Then there's like the first step. You sign up for Arabic class. Then it comes pushing and shoving, learning the alphabet, having a teacher, learning, going to the lectures. Then you drop off. Then again, it comes the first success. You can read the first ayah of the Quran. And then comes the next step. You learn tajweed and then you go on. This is how it goes. So again, so you have your first success. Now what's the last phase? Delivering on the promise, which means, just actually doing that thing. So learning the Arabic, actually like speaking Arabic, actually like organizing the event, actually like doing the business you promised to do, actually like going to the house to live or whatever. And then you achieved it, your goal, and you can move to the next one. But by the way, you shouldn't attach your happiness or your purpose of life to that goal. It's an artificial thing. Non-Muslims do this. We Muslims, we have goal in life, which is to worship Allah. And that's our ultimate purpose. These are not purposes. This is just like your dunya level goals to get ahead in this dunya in some sense, in Arabic, in, working out, in business, in all these aspects of life. You can't just be stuck. This doesn't make sense. Everybody wants to improve. Everyone wants to get ahead. Or people decline. People like rusty. So you either improve in this dunya or you really go down. There's no middle path. You can't just be stagnant. It's downhill or uphill. So that's my message. That's why I kind of like don't like people, or not people. I don't enjoy thinking about stuff too much in a sense where it's not in reality. Like if something is not going to be happening in reality in this dunya, even though reality is a subjective word, but if something is not going to be happening here, I don't want to talk about it. So philosophizing about some ideas or not being realistic is making me really angry. Some people have no idea how to do anything and they just have these big dreams with no work ethic, no planning abilities. And I just laugh at it. I'm just like, yeah, go for it, but you don't even know what you're doing. Why am I saying people are lazy and don't want to do the work? Because here's why it's truth. There's a whole industry online for like visualization, meditations and all that. And what that is in reality is just a shortcut for people who don't want to do anything and they just want to visualize because they cannot comprehend creating it in reality, which I'm saying Allah is creating it. but they don't want to do the work, so they just want to visualize things and hope something will attract and blah blah. Yeah, maybe that's like one, like it helps, but that's like 5%. Like actual work is the most important stuff you will have to do in this scenario. So just don't get caught up in that nonsense. But the work itself is so painful, like just sitting there for 5 hours researching something, doing something, like something that goes against what you believe in, not that you believe in, but something that makes it boring, like selling or like emailing people. Like this is where success is, and people don't want to do it. So success actually lies, like the type of dunya success, in the things people don't want to do. So just identify, people don't want to take out trash, there's some successful business in that trash. If you pick up the trash enough, people will pay you and you get the business. So the whole business mindset is just solving problems people don't want to solve themselves and helping them solve it for in exchange for money. So you can apply it to anything. And if you feel that feeling of uncomfortable feeling, like, oh, I don't want to do this, I don't want to learn this, I don't want to go out and work out, that actually is like the growth hack. If you do that, that will improve you. Anyways, if you don't have Deen, if you don't have Allah in your life, if you don't have Islam, it's all for nothing. It will all be for nothing. This is just a quick mindset that I'm following, which is why I'm not a fan of academics, I'm not a fan of philosophers, I'm not a fan of people who tend to think a lot. If you have any questions, let me know in the comments below. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.